everyone, I'm your host Mushtaq Abdullahi, and thank you for joining us on VodTalk. Today we are joined by our lovely guests Faduma and Lois. So today we'll be discussing how lockdown has affected young people, and in particular young students, people starting sixth form and college, and how that transition has started and stuff like that. So our guests are Faduma and Lois. Hi guys, how are you guys all today?
Fine.
How are you, Lois? Okay, so let's just get started. So asking Faduma first, how confident do you feel with your studies, particularly after lockdown?
There's like some gaps in my understanding of certain areas, especially in chemistry. But
Mm-hmm.
lockdown affected my motivation for a while as well.
I'm alright.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm feeling more confident now that we're back in school because I can interact with other students. So that's good.
Yeah, I'd say
I'm
especially
okay.
with I'd say especially with chemistry, because obviously I know a lot maths and chemistry kind of rely on the studies you've done from year 11. So it's very important having that knowledge. But obviously because we've lost that due to COVID, we don't necessarily feel confident going forward. And especially when they start A-level content, it goes
Yeah,
in straight, let's get this over and done with. So I feel like it is actually quite a struggle because then your confidence is lost. And when you start lessons, you don't really know what's going on.
yeah.
So, Lois, how confident do you feel with your studies after lockdown?
I would say I feel quite confident
Oh,
because
okay.
all of the lessons, even through lockdown, were all very interactive
Mm,
and it's kind of maintained. I would say it's maintained the same, and the work ethic was still the same as well. And
yeah.
my grades have like reflected that as well.
Mm-hmm. I feel like there are some balances that people do think that it is a good thing and people do think it is a bad thing. But I feel like doing topics that you've never necessarily done in maybe year 11, so such as like sociology or maybe I know some people do sociology, but some people who never done psychology, sociology, economics, business and stuff
Yeah.
like that, I feel like if they've never done it, then they feel quite confident with the topics they're doing because it feels new. But then if you do topics that are basically like STEM subjects and you're expected to maintain those skills from year 11 and onto and into year 12 and first year college, is quite difficult as well. So how did you guys feel like the lockdowns ruined your plan after summer and year 11? Did it really ruin your plans after year 11? I'd ask Fatima first.
It kind of ruined my plans in terms of when I was supposed to go out with my friends. I was supposed to go to the
Mm,
cinema and like eat out with my
yeah.
family, but nothing else really changed.
Yeah. And Lois, how do you feel about that? Like, did lockdown ruin your plans for summer?
I would say the same in the sense. I would say the same in the sense of like family and meeting with friends, but
Mm,
it did give me more time to focus on the introductory work. So I guess that's
mm.
like the
Yeah,
only positive out of it.
yeah.
Yeah, I feel like it did less ruin our plans and everyone else's who's been affected by this entire national lockdown. But especially it's very important for mental health to leave your house, to go out and stuff. But because everyone's fearful of getting the coronavirus at that time, it's quite dangerous leaving. So you don't necessarily want to leave your house. And if you're in your house, you're not necessarily doing activities that are really good for your mental health. For example, going out and playing rounders or something in the park and stuff like that. So I feel like also you need your friends. It's not always on the phone like, hey, how are you and stuff like that. You need to have that physical experience and stuff like that. So I'd say it did ruin a lot of my plans, especially. But I thought it was like also with secondary school. I know mine and Fatima secondary school, they didn't necessarily keep in contact with us except a few phone calls. Fatima, how did you feel about that?
I don't know. It just felt more difficult because I had to navigate
Yeah.
college by myself. You know.
Mhm. Lois, how did you feel how secondary school kind of handled that?
I think it was kind of the same really, and there was like no support in that sense.
Mhm. Yeah, because I remember they only gave us like two phone calls over the
Yeah,
entire March, April, May, June, July, and they're like, "Oh, how are you? I'm good." You can't necessarily let out all your emotions on a phone call, really. And also, when we got our results and stuff, it was quite difficult as well.
Yeah.
Also, has your future plan changed due to the course of events? And Lois, would you like to start?
I would say that it didn't, because what I want to do and where I want to go has kind of stayed the same. It's never really wavered.
Oh, okay. Faduma, how do you feel like the recent course of events have changed?
I don't think it's changed much in terms of I still want to go uni, but I'm not quite sure what I want to do in uni, you know.
Yeah. I'd say for me personally, I feel like it has changed my entire plan, because I remember over lockdown I had an entire epiphany. Like, I don't want to do this anymore. I want to do this. I don't want to go to a university in my area. I want to go to a university somewhere else. I don't want to be like, I don't want to do what I want to do since I was in year 8. Like, I remember I had an entire plan for what I want to do for my future in year 8, and that entire plan just changed, because if life is gonna, anything like this can happen again. Like, you never know what could happen. So I feel like you need to be cautious of what is actually like the changing world around you, as well as the technology and stuff like that. So do you guys agree with me, or is it just a different experience for you guys?
Yeah, I kind of like understand what you're going through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about Lois? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So have you guys considered a gap year or not going to university at all?
I'm pretty sure I want to go uni just to get a
Yeah.
degree and to have
Why do
like
you
that
think you want to go
safety.
university?
To have like the safety, because I'm not
Mm-hmm.
like I'm not confident stepping out of education just yet, you know.
Yeah. And what about you, Lois? Has your course changed at all? Do you want to go have a gap year, go straight to university? Oh,
Well,
okay.
the career I want to do,
Yeah.
like, I've wanted to do it for ages, and because I've had so much work experience in it, I just want to go to university, get it over and done with, and just get into it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the level of excitement I need. Like, I'm literally doubting everything because of what's happened. I feel like I've wasted my time, especially over the lockdown. Like, I wasn't necessarily working towards my future. So like during lockdown, I'd always be binge watching shows, snacking in the
Yeah.
night, doing everything, and literally, and when I come to school, you're just in that environment, like they're never right, let's get this done. You never know what's gonna happen. What if we get put in lockdown again? And like, we're rushing through content when we're still in that kind of mentality that we're still in I still felt like I was still in lockdown, and when I came to school, it felt like a completely different environment because I was at home for so long. How do you guys feel about being at home for so long and not necessarily having that going to school and that transition?
I felt like I wasn't like prepared for the difficulty of A levels. Like my mind
Yeah.
wasn't ready for it.
Exactly. Yeah. How about you,
Yeah.
Lois?
I just feel like it made the preparation and like organization of like a daily basis, like structure, just go out the window. So then when I went back, it was
Yeah.
like shock to the system of not
Yeah.
waking up at like in the afternoon,
Yeah.
the morning.
I remember I was waking up at 2 in the afternoon, and I was like, okay, let's get the day done. And I'd sleep at like 5 in the morning. It was not healthy at all. What advice would you give to current year 10s and 11s going on to sixth form or college?
Start revising early. Make sure your notes are
Yeah.
detailed because they're gonna
Yeah.
like we're doing our mocks right now, and
And
it's
it's
like
stressful.
yeah.
How about you, Lois? What advice would you give?
Um, I would say like within picking university or sixth form or college, I say, don't just go somewhere because someone else is going there. And
Mm-hmm.
also, like, don't be afraid to aim high because you have nothing to lose if you do that. Whereas if
Yeah.
you aim low, it's always, well, what if I could have done that?
Yeah.
I mean, you only live life once. Like, you need to have that mentality. You only live once. Let's do this. Obviously, I'm not saying go out and jump off a plane, but I'm saying, have that mentality that you need to do everything that you possibly will, because there's so many people who do regret what they've done in life and stuff like that. I'd also say, for me, I'd give advice currently year 10s, 11s. You need to revise as well. It's very important, because I'd also say, like, if you have time, get work done. But if not, don't stress about it, because I feel like as long as you have that foundation, for example, doing biology and chemistry, you have that foundation, you're gonna do well as it is, because you feel confident with your studies, and your school must have helped you to gain that. It's as well, and you've also had that revision and stuff like that. So you've also, like, for people like us, year 11s, we didn't necessarily have that 2-month time when everyone would be revising. We didn't have that experience yet. We've got to wait for that till year 13 A levels. So I feel like because you have the experience, you know what to do, you felt it, and you know how to move off it. But I'd say also for your year 10s, also try to have a break. Like year 11s and 10s, you need to have a break. You need to have a breather, because the exams they've given you, I feel like what schools have done, instead of saying you have GCSEs, you're not doing your GCSEs, but it doesn't really feel like that, because they gave you the double amount of exams. Like, I know my cousin, she was getting exams every week, and it just wasn't good for her mental health and stuff like that. So it's just a case of try and have a break, try get yourself ready and prepared mentally, not necessarily try get all the work done. Don't feel like you have to do 100% work and stuff like that. And I'd also say, I feel like with year 11s as well, moving into sixth form and college, it's a completely different experience. Also focus on making friends, because I remember when I came from lockdown, I was not ready to make friends at all. Like, I was at home speaking to my family and stuff. I wasn't ready to speak to random people. Like, how did you feel about that, Fatima?
Like, I had my friends from secondary school, and that was it.
Yeah. Right now, I'm still making friends in college. I don't know how I'm doing that. Or how about you, Lois?
I don't know. I guess it was like a new experience, because I didn't really know anyone at college at
Yeah. Oh,
So
okay. I feel like I had people. So the fact that I had my secondary school friends, I didn't necessarily feel like it was important to make friends. But I realized during, I think, October, when we had our first test coming up, I needed friends in that class.
Yeah.
Like, I needed friends, because I was like, hey, when's this exam going on? I had no one to ask. Like, I had to deal with that stress on my own, literally. So it was just a case of trying to move off that situation and stuff like that. Okay, so guys, have you guys got any final thoughts, anything to say? Any advice and stuff? Anything to raise awareness? Like, what do you guys think social media should do on trying to raise awareness on this issue, and how schools can't necessarily discard their kids after they finish their exams?
I just say, like, try and keep up, like, for schools, in order for the students to feel more comfortable.
Yeah. How about you, Lois?
I would say maybe try and find like secure like support bubbles where you know where you can go, and they're not going to break at any point.
Yeah, I just say have a break, guys. You have a 6-week holiday. I think year 11s have an extended holiday. I don't know, but have a break. Take your time with things and stuff like that. So, guys, unfortunately, we've come to an end, and I just wanted to thank everyone. So, Faduma and Lois for joining us all, and we have unfortunately come to an end of today's episode, and we hope that you guys have all enjoyed watching this video just as much as we enjoyed making this, guys, right? Yeah. And this discussion, the reason why we decided to do this is because it helps people understand, young people as well, understand that we are not alone with this feeling, and we are not alone with this feeling of being insufficiently prepared for exams, and we basically encourage people to get their support. So, guys, please continue to join us on Youth Fluent in VodTalk to raise more awareness. Like, subscribe, share, and comment on YouTube. Follow VodTalk on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter. Bye.